Hey gang, in today's video, we're gonna get you ready for the new version of the Security Plus exam. Hey gang, it's Ron from itmasterkey.com. And if you've never seen me before, hey, how you doing? Glad to meet you. I am the founder and creator of Master IT, an online training program that's getting students just like you certified. So if you're not aware, depending on when this video drops, either today or in a couple of days, the version of Security Plus, the 501 version of Security Plus, is going to be expired. You're not going to be able to take it anymore, all right? Because that version of Security Plus is retiring. So the new version of Security Plus is the 601, right? So from right now, moving forward, the only version of the exam that you actually can take is going to be the 601. So the 601 exam is going to cover the following. You'll have attacks, threats, and vulnerabilities, architecture and design, implementation, operations and incident response, governance, risk, and compliance. So the actual exam is 90 minutes long, and you'll have a maximum of 90 questions. To pass the Security Plus exam, you'll need a score of 750 out of 900. So if you've never done a test prep with me before, if you've never went through this is how we do it, right? So show you what the question is, show you the various answer types, and then I'll let you figure out what you think the answer is. And then as a family, we figure out what the actual answer is, okay? So if you can do me a quick favor, make sure that you like this video for the YouTube algorithm. And then other than that, man, let's just get straight into the test. Ricky recently started working for Master IT. He has been in the security field for over 10 years. He specializes in penetration testing. He has been tasked with hardening security for a law firm. The client at the firm has given Ricky zero information about the firm. The client has not given Ricky access to the network, employees, or even the building. Ricky only knows that he's to perform a penetration test. What type of testing is most likely to be performed? Is it going to be a white box test, a gray box test, a black box test, or none of these? All right, so gang, I hope that you picked black box. All right, so black box penetration test just means that you don't have any information. You're literally going in there in the dark. You don't know anything about anything. You don't know what type of security they have. You don't know what type of parameters or boundaries that you have. You just pretty much are acting like a hacker that doesn't know anything about the company, and you try and penetrate their defenses. Jasmine is the head of a huge account for a marketing agency. She's well respected in the advertising space. She recently launched an email marketing campaign for a new fitness apparel brand. Her target market are individuals who are 25 to 35 and live in inner city New York. She segments the emails into groups. She notices that the segments she sent to Goldie's Gym had a 0% open rate. Jasmine was depending on Goldie's employees to spread the word about the new brand. What most likely is the reason no emails reach the employees? Is it because the network has IPsec-X enabled? Is it a DOS attack? Is it DNS poisoning? Or is the mail gateway recognizing the email as spam and disregarding them? All right, gang, so depending on how you have your email gateway, your email server set up, a lot of advertising and a lot of different types of emails may be looked at as spam. And these emails are being caught by the spam filter and actually going inside the spam folder. And a lot of people aren't looking inside the spam folder for these emails. So most likely, that's another thing. When you're going through the test, you got to look at those keywords. Most likely, first thing to do, last thing to do, most expensive, least expensive. Make sure that you're paying attention to that stuff when you're inside the box. Jamal has been a developer for 3 years with over 100 projects under his belt. Jamal was told that the company he works for will be going in another direction and most likely would have to part ways with him. Jamal was furious due to the company waiting until his last project was done before letting him go. Before Jamal leaves the company, he decides to leave a break in the code on the current program he is working on. This will allow him to manipulate, edit, or destroy the program at any time. What has Jamal created? So Jamal created something known as a backdoor. So literally like a backdoor. So he's pretty much created a way for him to always have access to the code, to always have access to the program or the software that he was working on. So if he gets pissed off or he wants to do something, he can always go back in there and change things or completely destroy it if he wants to. Hey gang, if you're enjoying the test prep so far, once again, make sure that you like this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you don't do those two things, it's going to be really hard for me to continue to make videos just like this one. Lenny is currently interning for a startup in Detroit. He is trying to log into the company's network portal to update several log events. Every time he enters the URL to the portal, he is routed to a site he's never seen before. The site requests credit card information. He tries the website on several other computers with the same result. What most likely has happened? So most likely what's happened is something called DNS poisoning, right? So your domain name service or domain name server is responsible for resolving your IP address to an actual name, right? So if you're trying to get to a certain website, it tries to figure out what's the IP address for that website, and then it resolves it to a name. Or you can do it in reverse. It actually looks at the website name and then sees, okay, what IP address is attached to that, and then once it figures that out, whoop, it brings up the website address, right? But if your DNS server is poisoned, we can actually reroute you to different things. So you wanted to go to itmasterkey.com, but it's actually taking you to itttech.com, which you don't want to go to, right? So DNS poisoning is what's most likely happening, right? Like I said, always make sure that you're paying attention to those little nuances. As we've been going through this, as you've seen, a lot of times on the, hold on, let me preface this. These are not the actual questions that's going to be on the test. Okay, these are simulations. These are kind of like the questions. Just, I mean, I know, you know, that's real damn dumb, but I just have to preface that this is not the real questions, right? But when you actually get inside the box, you're gonna have to really be quick with deciphering what the hell they're talking about, right? Because a lot of times, a lot of the information that's in the question, you don't necessarily need it, okay? Talking about things that you need to be in a zero to hero IT program over at itmasterkey.com. We start you off with ITF Plus, and then we run you all the way up to Security Plus, making sure that you have the fundamentals and you also have the certifications that our employers are looking for. So I don't know what you're waiting for. I'll see you in class. James works in HR on the Northeast corridor of Metroplex. This side of the building is notorious for having horrible Wi-Fi. He decides to bring an access point from home in hopes it would boost the Wi-Fi signal. He begins to plug in that access point when he's stopped by the CSO. What will the CSO most likely tell him about the AP? Would he ensure all firmware on the AP is up to date before connecting? Would he ensure that all firmware on the access point is up to date before connecting? Would he tell him rogue access points are not allowed on the company network? Would he ensure he puts the AP in a place where it will not cause interference with other devices? Would he ensure that he uses WEP with TKIP 256-bit encryption? So the CSO stands for Chief Security Officer, right? That's another thing. There's gonna be a lot of acronyms on the exam, and AP, I already said it, stands for access point. But if you didn't know those two acronyms, it might be kind of difficult. Like, who the hell is a CSO? What the hell is an AP, right? It would be kind of hard to figure out what the hell they're actually talking about. So most likely what he's gonna tell him is, hey man, you can't be bringing shit from the house and think you connected to the network, right? So the answer would be no rogue access points are allowed, right? Because we don't know what you're trying to do. We don't know if the device that you're using is secure, unsecure. Pretty much They don't want anything that's out of compliance or could be out of compliance on their network. All right, gang, so if you really enjoyed the test prep today, make sure that you watch the video that I got linked in the description. I may put a picture up somewhere here that's going to tell you about the things that you need to do to land an IT job. All right, so that's it. That's all. I'll see you in class.